Okay, hello everybody, it's me here, Mr. Truth, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing the Miami Dolphins, a team I rarely, if ever, cover on the Mr. Truth YouTube channel, but here I am doing it today, mainly because I have some concerns. I think there's some trouble brewing on the horizon for these Miami Dolphins, and I want to sort of say my piece, I guess, about the Dolphins in this video, why I think they have a relatively low floor and a relatively low ceiling as well. It's one of those teams that I think their ceiling is 10 games making the playoffs, the wild card round, and I think their ceiling may be 6 to 5 wins at sort of best. Now, offensively, the talent is undeniable. It's undisputed. They have a high-powered offense. Devon A-Chain, where the fuck his name is. Jalen Wright's a good backup. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is a solid wide receiver 3. Darren Waller, who apparently came out of retirement. Alec Ingold's one of the better fullbacks in the NFL. The offensive line, to me, is shaky. I think guys like James Daniels is okay. I don't know much about Patrick Paul or the left guard, whatever the hell his name is. Not even going to try to pronounce it because it's like a Samoan Hawaiian, whatever he is named. And I don't even want to be bothered. And my main concern is not only just the offensive line. Are they going to be able to protect Tua Tagovailoa? Are they going to be able to protect their man? The problem is Tua himself. And it's not because I think a lot of people can say, oh, well, you fucking think Tua sucks. Your opinion is, I don't think he sucks. I think when he is healthy, he is one of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League. He's very accurate. He has a cream puff arm. Don't get me wrong, he cannot throw the ball past 40 yards because it will float in the air and it will be an easy interception for the defense. There's sort of a 35 to 40 yard box you have to sort of operate in with Tua as your quarterback, but I'm perfectly content with that because of his ball placement and accuracy. I think he's one of the best sort of quarterbacks when it comes to being accurate and reading defense as well in the NFL. He does have the occasional mistake. Doesn't really have much functional mobility either, but he's good enough from within the pocket to sort of warrant, okay, you know, he's fine just sitting in the pocket. My problem isn't Tua Tagovailoa, the player. It's the fact that he has been just absolutely just bombarded with injuries, especially head injuries. Throughout his entire, playing career in the National Football League. If he takes one more concussion, one more nasty hit, it's over. His career's done. And I'm pretty sure he's aware of it a lot. Maybe the Miami front office is aware of it. Fans certainly are aware of the fact if he takes one more bad fucking brain injury, this guy's career is over pronto. And then guess what? You gotta throw out Zach fucking Wilson, who cannot hit a 4-yard pass. And the backup to the backup would be Quinn Ewers, who was horrific in his first preseason game. He was fucking garbage. And Quinn Ewers is probably, Quinn Ewers is going to suck, let's be honest. I wasn't too high on him, but I thought he was maybe an okay prospect. But look, I mean, come on, that first game, I know it was jitters, probably nervous, but he looked like a high schooler out there. And Zach Wilson, he's Zach Wilson. He's a turnover machine who has good athletic ability with nice arm strength. Definitely a solid arm for sure, but he provides nothing other than good arm strength, an average frame, and good mobility. He cannot throw the ball. He has no accuracy. His decision-making is poor. His ball placement is erratic, and that is at best. That is a compliment to him. And their offense has a lot of questions. They have more questions than answers. The questions are, can Tua stay healthy? And can the offensive line block to keep Tua healthy? And then you go and segue over to the defensive side of the ball. Holy shit. This team is made of glass on defense. Bradley Chubb, he's going to break down midseason. Jaelen Phillips, he's going to break down midseason. They have to throw Storm Duck out there. A guy named Storm Duck is going to start for an NFL team. An undrafted, awesome name, by the way. The best name in the entire NFL. Storm Duck. Give me one of those fucking jerseys now. Immediately. Give me one of those as soon as humanly possible. Storm Duck, amazing name. I don't think he's a good player, though. He probably is going to be exposed at the NFL level in his second year. But he's forced into playing, right? Because they have a bunch of fucking injuries to their sort of corner room, and they have no depth. They obviously traded Ramsey away, and it does not look good. It's starting to look a bit cooked for the Miami Dolphins on defense. You have a bunch of players that are made of glass. Jaelen Phillips, when healthy, is just a great player. I think he's really good. Bradley Chubb, when he's healthy, is a good player. The problem is those guys rarely, if ever, play because they're made of paper mache. They're made of fucking glass. I mean, they got some decent guys. Chop Robinson had a really good rookie year. I mean, Tyrell Dodson, Jordan Brooks, because they're okay. Benito Jones, Zach Sealer, okay. Mike Hilton. I mean, what? They have Minka Fitzpatrick back. That's the only, like, really standout player. And once again, I'm concerned because there's going to be injuries to their defense. There's going to be injuries. Bradley Chubb will probably get hurt because he's been hurt like the past 4 years of his career. Jaelen Phillips, the last 2 years, has been injured. So you can take this to the bank. One of those two guys is getting hurt. So backup will be forced to play. There's definitely going to be probably another injury in the secondary. This is the NFL. Teams are frequently injured and stuff like that. So they're going to be forced to play backups a lot, and their secondary is going to get picked on. But by teams with high-powered, there's no such thing as a high-powered passing attack in the NFL. I mean, a couple of years ago it was, but then, teams shifted to sort of too high shell coverage, and it would take away the deep ball, so mainly it's stuff underneath, and bad quarterbacks now are sort of getting exposed for being bad because they can't just, fucking abuse a certain thing. So there's no really such thing as a high-powered passing attack. But I'm sure, eventually it'll get better, but still, teams that are adept at passing the ball, right? Like that have good quarterbacks, right? Like the Chiefs, like the Bengals, teams like those. Bengals aren't going to make the playoffs because they don't got a good defense. So they're the worst defense in the NFL. But still, you get what I'm trying to say. Teams that have elite quarterbacks, and especially, they're going to play Josh Allen twice a year. So they're going to get cooked fucking twice a year against Josh Allen. I mean, Drake may even fucking rip him a new one. Who knows, right? Who knows at this point? And defensively, they're going to probably have injuries, and their secondary is one of the worst, if not the worst in the league. Tua Tagovailoa, is injury prone as fuck, but when he's healthy, he's a good quarterback. Their offensive line, once again, is a question. And, then I sort of go to Mike McDaniel, the coach of this team. Listen, he's something, all right? He's something. He's a coach, is what he is. He's not a good one. I have to say, his little trickery has stopped working. The past 2 years, his little trick plays where he does these cool little fucking motions where they go back to it doesn't work, all right? Because teams have caught on, and he keeps fucking he's calling the same plays over and over, essentially. His play calling is not good. He's not really good at managing the clock. This doesn't really strike me as someone who'd be a good leader. I'm not saying that because he's a midget. I'm just saying that because, he seems like a more sort of a laid-back guy. He would be a good offensive coordinator. I don't think he is made to be a head coach in the NFL. He had, the first 2 years of his career in Miami were good, and then teams decided, let's do some research into what this guy, his tendencies when it comes to play calling and what plays he likes to call and when he likes to call them. And what he sort of likes to do, what makes him unique, and take what makes him unique away, and then he's just another guy. Like, when you take what he does, his little unique emotions and his unique sort of offensive plays and stuff like that, when you take that away, you're left with a shallow coach, a coach that doesn't really know left from right. So I'm not trying to say he's a moron or something, that he's a Brian Daboll level inept, because Brian Daboll should not be anywhere near an NFL coaching job, because that guy is just fucking horrible. He's one of the worst play calls I've ever seen ever get a job in the... I don't even know how that guy got a job as a coach. Whatever, man. But, McDaniel, when he wants to be, he's a good play caller. When he wants to be, he can cook up a good game plan. But the fact is, not only have teams figured it out, he's figured himself out. I feel like he has a tendency like, oh shit, well they know I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it anyways. That's bad. You can't call the same plays over and over that the other team knows that you're going to fucking call and expect to get away with it, because they're going to be like, okay, well this idiot is just he's just spamming it. He's like he's playing Madden, he's spamming the same play over and over again with the same motion of the same formations. That's what he's doing. The same formations, the same type of motion, the same concepts. You're not running anything different now. You're going on, I don't even know what, this third, fourth year in Miami. You've done nothing different since your first season. What have you done? Okay, now you're doing dinky throws. Instead of, the first year you were at Miami where you're throwing and chucking it every portion and level of the field with Tua as their quarterback. Let's just throw dinky little fucking throws and a bunch of screens and swing passes and high school throws that a fucking scrub can make. Wow, really opening up the offense for your $200 million fucking quarterback. Amazing job, Mike McDaniel. And he should be applauded for that. He should be applauded for dumbing down his scheme for one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, making him look like a high schooler, making Tua look bad because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And once again, I'm not trying to say they should. I think maybe if he figures it out this year, if Mike McDaniel can, sort of relive the glory days of his first season as a head coach in the NFL with the Dolphins, he can have some success and maybe win a playoff game. But I don't see this team making the playoffs. I see them winning maybe 7, 8 games. I think they're going to win 8 games, miss the playoffs. McDaniel will be gone in the offseason. That's sort of my future prediction for this team, because once again, it's not Tua that's going to hold the team back. It's not Waddle and Hill are not going to, hold the team back. The secondary is so astronomically ass cheeks, it's not even funny. You have dudes that are on the defense that are going to get hurt. Like, come on. Bradley Chubb and Jaelen Phillips, what are the odds when those guys stay healthy the whole year? If they're not, one of those guys is going down. So then you got to back up a scrub in, and oh my God, you have no pass rush outside of one fucking guy. So there you go. There goes your pass rush. You already have no secondary, so, you're fucked. Your linebackers are painfully fucking mediocre. So, mediocre linebackers, no secondary, pass rush is dumbed down, because when you're, God forbid, both those motherfuckers get injured. If both Phillips and goddamn Bradley Chubb both happen to get hurt, then you have no pass rush. You have Chop Robinson, Sealer, who's okay. He's a formidable average player. But, average don't cut it in the NFL. And especially, the Bills' offensive line's good. The Patriots kind of trash. Jets may be okay. So, in division, the offensive lines are decent. And if your guys go down, then what's the plan? What are you going to do? You can blitz every play? You might as well blitz every play, because you're not going to get pass rush if you're sending 4 every play with your 2 best guys fucking injured. So they're at a crossroads. I think the Dolphins are at a crossroads. They have a good quarterback, but he has problems with injuries, and that's the worst type of injury. It's a brain injury. And the last thing that I want to see is this guy get another traumatic fucking head injury on the field. He should be required to wear that Guardian, whatever the fuck it's called, the bubble on his head. He should be required to wear that, because he's gotten like 8 concussions since he's been in the league. Why is he not being forced by the league to wear that? Oh, I know, it's a preference. Listen, for someone like him who has had multiple brain injuries in fucking games, he's had like 3, 4 in the NFL, why the fuck is he not being required by the league? It's a failure on the league's part. If this guy gets hurt again, gets a head injury again, then guess what? It'll be the league's fault. It won't be his fault, because I know he's being stubborn and all that stuff. But the league should have stepped in and said, okay, listen, kid, you're gonna have to wear this, because you're just fucking, you're getting hurt every fucking season the same way over and over again. We gotta find some sort of fucking way to prevent this. Put the bubble on. Put the fucking bubble head where it makes you look like you got a fucking big old fucking head, right? And put that on him, man. Or put him in. You could actually probably put him in a real bubble. You put him in one of those real bubbles, and guess what? He won't be able to get sacked. He won't be able to throw it either, unless there's like a pocket within the bubble. But then listen, I'm trying to. I don't even know, man. I'm waffling. At this point in the video, I'm waffling. But the Dolphins are a team low ceiling, low floor. Everything's low. I think maybe the lowest they can go is 5 wins. The highest wins is 10. And I don't see them getting 10. So I'm giving them 8. I'm giving them 8 wins. But, man, the Dolphins, they scare me. They have a good on-paper offense. The quarterback, can he stay healthy? Can the offensive line block? They don't got no defense. Their coach has fucking moronic tendencies to call the same shit over and over again, and just does not open up the fucking offense when the offense needs to be opened up, making his quarterback look like a fucking game manager. Even though the first 2 years of McDaniel's tenure in Miami, he was throwing it all over the field, and all of a sudden he's throwing little fucking screens every play. Why the fuck would you do that? Why are you changing what works? Why are you changing your identity for no fucking reason from season to season? That's like if Andy Reid went from, okay, we're more intermediate and short. This year, everything's going to be deep. Because, Mahomes has played a bit more like a game manager, and he excels in that role. I think he's good in that role. Yes, he's playing more like a game manager, but still, he's a good quarterback regardless. But Andy Reid did that because he knows that Mahomes isn't going to make too many stupid. He's going to throw picks, but he's not going to make a stupid mistake that ends the game. He'll throw a pick in the middle of the second quarter when the game is tied, and won't really have an effect. But he won't throw one in the fourth quarter on the final drive to end the fucking game. Is what I'm trying to say, right? And Andy Reid made this real schematic change of, okay, we're going to do more sort of shorter shit, intermediate stuff, because he knows Mahomes is accurate. He excels at that, and that's something he's very good at. And that's sort of, it's run, intermediate, short throws to take time off the clock so your defense doesn't have to be there on the field all the fucking time. Now, I understand why McDaniel maybe had the same idea, but what you did worked. You scored 70 points in a game. So why the fuck would you go away from that? I don't know, but he's stubborn. It's stubborn. Well, stubbornness would imply that really you're doing the same thing over and over again. But he's stubborn in a different way. He's stubborn in the way where he changed for no fucking reason. And now he looks like an idiot. He looks stupid for his schematic changes, where he's throwing everything underneath now. Everything's a screen. Everything's got to be a short fucking one-read play. Tua can make more than one read. Tua can read defense. You're making him look like he can't because you got this scheme that makes your quarterback look like a dumb fuck. Listen, that's a scheme you run for Caleb Williams, for Kyler Murray, for some dwarf quarterback who can't read a defense. You don't run that for Tua. You run that for fucking Kyler Murray, who can't throw over the middle. That's a scheme you run for a dwarf, for some shitty scrub quarterback like Kyler Murray, who can't read a coverage. You don't run that for Tua, who's known for reading defense and being an intelligent quarterback. We're done here. This video is over. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.